Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Monday live stream where we're dealing with Nim and Unreal Engine. The good word here would be actually that we're fighting with Nim for Unreal Engine, unless, at least in my case, I have fairly limited tools. So I'm kind of struggling, but I did some work off stream and we should make some progress. At least that's my gut feeling for today. So let me switch you to, let me start things up quickly. And haven't had much time to prep today. The Arc browser is ready to update. Of course, every time I start a stream, there's an update. But in the meantime, we can go through the changes I made so far since the last stream, okay? Just so that we're caught up a little bit. So last stream, we basically, what we did is we split the whole project into separate interactions and transceivers files. Yeah, we did a bunch of work. We actually did several comments, right? Yeah. And then off camera, I basically figured why the enabled didn't work properly. Previously, we had a uprop enabled, and we created like set enabled, set enabled, then was toggle enabled, and all those things, and get enabled. So apparently what happens is that later this enabled is getting translated into set enabled and get enabled or something like that, into setter and getter behind the scenes. And because of that, Nim code was kind of fine, but then after translation, it was like conflicting because, hey, there already is set enabled and all those fancy things. Or can't find enabled or something. So the idea is that if you have a Boolean value, just prefix it with B, like B enabled, and that's gonna get rid of all the problems. And I did that. It worked, so I'm happy about that. I also updated NimForUE engine because why not? Maybe it's gonna fix something. And then I found that you can't just create an F name. It kind of isn't happy, especially that it doesn't exist in a way that there's no constructor for F name where you just give it a string. You need to use make F name, and that seems to work. That seems to produce no errors. So that was one of the errors we had with the get handled signal type. I'd like a little bit deeper into that, and basically the way I implemented the whole blueprint native event is just all wonky. It's not how it's supposed to work. The whole idea is that it shouldn't have an implementation. Instead of that, you should have, the underscore implementation version of a function on the C++ side. That's gonna be used by default, and then it should be overridable on the blueprint side of things. So this kind of works, but it isn't overridable. At least when I override it, it doesn't really work. So that's that. But for now, it works. Nothing's broken inherently. We're not overriding it from the blueprint perspective yet. So I guess off camera, maybe next week I'm gonna keep chipping away at it, and maybe it's gonna get fixed. So let me jump into code, and we can continue where we left off. So we left off in the interactions. The whole idea was that, and I haven't figured out why we can't call like begin play or stuff automatically yet. I'm gonna get to that at some point. But what we had so far is basically we started the TraceInteractor class, right? We have a bunch of properties like, selected component, all those things. Hello, CPN. Nice to see you. And I guess you just reminded me that I need to quickly set up the chat because it's all wonky. Looks like it's connected to old YouTube video. There we go. How are you doing, CPM? It's nice to see you here. Alrighty, chat overlay should work by now. Continuing, so in our class, we have all the last selected component, all those management things, lots of variables, right? Well, nothing crazy. And then we had basically the init, which checks if we have the transceiver component attached. So, all the checks are made. And then we started working on the do tick, which I guess I should open the old project to get to it. Where can I find it? Here we go, old, and we can just reference to it because, we have a reference project for this one. CPN is saying he's doing all right. That's good to hear. It's pretty all right for Monday today as well. Usually I absolutely hate Mondays. Today wasn't bad. Okay, here it is, the old project. And we can start up the TraceInteractor. So the event begin play is done. What we started working on, that's that part, the automatic trace. We're ignoring the fact that this one is delayed so far. I am not happy doing that right now, although we're gonna get to it. Then we had all this, and then was the idea to start doing trace, which I believe we started kind of implementing. And then we have a bunch of this stuff, okay? So let's just check if we have our check for automatic tracing. And then if we're setting the selected component. Just to refresh and check if we have all that. I'm gonna uncomment it. Uncomment it. So we have the do tick. So if it's not on automatic tracing, we stop it. Perfect. And then we have to do add delay timer. We're gonna get to that at some point, not now. And we set that. And here is where we started working on this whole tracing to trace. Because when we get in there, what it does immediately is do we interact using radius? And we didn't even get to that, but basically we tried to find how to do sphere trace by channel and line trace by channel, and we couldn't find it. We couldn't find it in the NIM source code that, for all the bindings. We kind of found how it works in C++, but it didn't seem to be there were no bindings for it on the NIM side, so that was strange. So I have a fix for that. But before that, let's just see what we have after that. If found interactive, doesn't mean that we have this part done. If found interactive, okay, if true, just call start selection. Yep. Okay, so that part is done. Cool. So the only thing will be here. And previously, I was saying that calling functions from within here didn't work, and that was false. Now I know. It was just because I had this confusion with calling a few other things that were breaking things, and it shouldn't be a case anymore. So we're gonna make a trace function, okay? This is just a function. We don't even need a blueprint callable. We just do proc trace, okay? And do we need to give it any arguments? I don't think so. We just have trace, right? Where is it? Here. Yeah, just trace, and it should return if it found interactive and the hit result. Alrighty. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Interact using radius. So this is gonna be our if statement. We already have the value, so nothing crazy here. So the trick I learned about how to, because the thing with NimForUE engine is that it tries to create bindings mostly to blueprint stuff. So whatever you would do in blueprints, you can easily replicate with the Nim code. And we were looking for how to do this or that, right? So the trick is that you can just select a node, you can hit Control-C to copy it, and the thing about blueprints in Unreal Engine is that when we hit Control-C, we just copy kind of serialized version of it. So in VS Code, we can just paste it, okay? It shows, all the pins and whatnot, blah, 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 if it's connected or not. We don't care about that too much. What we care about is function reference, and there's the name, line trace single. Okay, so that means that now I'll be able to open up the plugins for Unreal Engine source, and we should be able to find it in the bindings. So let's search for it and add a star at the end to search for a definition, and there we go. There's the engine. Both versions for some reason. One is exported and one is imported. Not sure what the difference between those two is, but yeah. But there we go. There's line single trace, and we have all the fancy details of what we can put in it. Where we open bracket here, and wait, where does the bracket close? Am I blind or something? No. Oh, all the way here. Okay. And it just returns a boolean. Okay, great. So let's just copy it and see what we can do with it. All right. Because, hey, now it should just work. So in trace, so let's do line trace. We'll paste that guy. And we basically need to do, so that bool will be representing the found interactive or something. No, that will be the whole thing, but we call it return value. So out hit and return value. So this is basically if it was hit, right? True if there was a hit. So we'll just call it is hit. How about that? Let is hit equals, and we'll call line trace single. So we have to give it the world context object. How on earth do I do that? Not sure. Then we have start and end. So we'll basically need let's start So let's just do it here. Start, and then will be and. That's really, we do the end. And why is it? Oh, because and is a keyword. We need to really specify this way. Huh. So we actually specify n. Okay, calculated. I forgot that it worked this way. Okay. And trace channel, it'll be visibility. So we'll just do dot visibility. I guess that's how it's gonna work. Let's just do start and so be ray and okay. So let's just do that. I'm just trying to make like to-dos because there's a lot to gather here. So we have to do for this and to do for the end. So let's do var start vector, and then we're gonna have the var ray end vector. Let's call it also ray start just to have it nicely. Hello, we have a blob. The blob prince joined the stream. Hi, sir. We can change source code with hash code and try ITNA. What is ITNA? Maybe you can explain. I'm not sure. I'm sure it's something that I know of. It's just not clicking my brain right now. Trace complex, no. There will be actors to ignore, so this will be false. I'm hearing wait, sir. Trying to understand yourself? Take your time, no worries. I'm sure there'll be soon enough moment where I'm just not moving forward, scratching my head, so there'll be plenty of time for expression. Okay, actors to ignore and draw debug type will be debug traces. Okay, so we should already have that. Actors to ignore. That should be straight up. Do we need to add self to it? I don't think so. Self dot actors to ignore. Or what did we name it as? Ignored actors. Okay. Okay. Next one will be draw debug type, and that will be again self debug traces. Then we have this whole out hit, a var for f hit result. So that's another thing that we need to create. So we'll do var out hit f hit result, and that's going to be our placeholder. That's where the result will go to. Okay. That should be fine. And then we'll be ignore self. Absolutely, yes, true. And then we have trace color and trace hit color. Aren't they defaults? They have defaults, right? Yeah, this one has defaults. This one has defaults. We can ignore all that. And draw time has defaults as well. So we'll just stay defaults. And this is default as well. Cool. Cool. So in theory, that should be it. Nothing crazy complex. We just need to redo the calculations that we have in our code. And I know that there's a switch. We're doing this one or that one. For now, let's just focus on a line trace. When we're gonna get this whole thing going, we basically just switch one part to add another version, and the rest should go the same. Now let's just calculate the start and end spot, okay? And I know that we need to also get the world context object. However that works. Because here it just is. But let's see. So the top one is the start position, right? So the start position will basically grab get forward vector and get world location. Let's see if we can actually get something like that. Scene component. Wait, I wasn't supposed to paste it here. Does it show the name? Get forward vector. There we go. Oh, this is gonna be so handy. Okay. Get forward vector. And we have a bunch of definitions. I guess it'll be the one from engine. Inrot from object. Then this is use scene component pointer. There we go. So I could probably call it on self. And it will be fine. So get forward vector, that's all we need. So let's do that. For the start position, we're gonna do let forward vector get, of course it knows. Then we'll basically, for each of those, we multiply it times interaction range minimum or maximum. Okay, sure. So we do, I can just do times self interaction range minimum. So because we have forward and then we have okay, so let's do that. We have the forward vector, right? Then the race start will be forward vector times interaction range minimum and plus the world location. So do let world location. Oh. Get actor location, but I should be able, so this is the second time this shows up. Get owner. That might be the thing that we actually need. Let world context object. I don't know if that exists. Let's do or get self world. We're gonna check those two in a second, but I'll get actor location, get world location. That should work, I hope. And therefore, it's gonna be this, and on top of that, we're gonna add the world location. So just in case, I'm gonna put parentheses for readability purposes. This should be the start. The end, right end should be max and the same thing, right? Exactly. This whole thing is those 4 lines. Wow. Okay. These are the nice little thingies that you're appreciating, like, you know what? This is where it pays off to do something not in this whole graphy way. All right, so this should work. We should have these already plugged in. I'm in here. And yeah, we just executed it and we have the hit. Both. So what happens is we set the hit result. Oh, we have some kind of hit result somewhere. Is that a local variable? Yeah, or is it not? Hit result. Okay, it's a local variable, so we don't have to worry about it yet. Where is it used? Is it used anywhere? New selection. I guess we'll see. For now, it's just out there. And basically, if we hit something, then it's good. If not, we simply Set it to hit actor is nothing. It's another local variable. And then reset selected. Okay. Okay. And this path will be basically partially used by a bunch of them. So I guess I should implement that. So let's do, if not is hit, then what we need to do? We need to go here and basically hit actor is set to nothing. So we don't worry about that. Set selected. Oh. It should be nothing here, right? Is valid, so is currently select component valid? Is this valid? This or that? Oh dear God. I guess we're created. Because this is something that's being public or no? Where is it? How many times is it referenced? Find references. So it's selected. Once here, that's I mean, once here, second time in the same spot here, and then the comment, and that's it. Okay. I see. So I basically reused it. One is without selection, one is with selection, and just a bunch of checks. So if we don't have anything, we can basically make it unselect or something. What does it involve unselecting it? So if it's valid, it's not valid. So if currently selected component is valid. Oh, I mean, is not valid. Look at that. Copy pasted comment, even in blueprints. You can't escape it no matter what environment you're programming in. So if it's valid, it's as false, we go here. We then check the selected component. Oh, if the current component is valid. If it's not, we can just ignore it, right? Because we didn't deselect anything. Nothing was selected in the first place. So if self.selected component, so if it's not valid, just return, okay? We stop the whole execution. Otherwise, we need to call remove selecting actor. That's another implementation from the direct interaction component. Oh, okay. So we do select the component and call this on it. So we'll do self-selected component dot. What do we? Here's this direct interaction component, and we have function get selected, remove selecting actor. Is that it? Remove selecting actor. Okay. What was it? Init trace. Remove selecting actor. And actor to remove will be self. There we go. Sure, and nothing else happens here. Where'd it go? Okay. Gosh, this is confusing. And after that, clear currently selected component variable. Oh, of course. There we go. And we finish. Or do we? No, we don't. We need to return false, right? Ay, ay, ay. So that was happening here. Well, in trace, after that, we need to return basically this thing. Nothing in hit result and found interactive to false. So the interaction result, I guess by default, is false. Yeah, and only when it's fine, we actually set it to true. Somewhere. I'm sure we do it somewhere. So we just need to do, instead of random return, it will be return false, right? So we need to do hit, out hit is just a new one. We can probably just do a nil, right? Oh no, this is F. If something starts with an F, it's a struct, right? Or like a proper value, so we can't put nil. We just create a new one, just to not... Oh, there wasn't anything in the first place. We just output it. Okay, no big deal. We don't need to do anything extra. Again, return false. Okay, that's good. That's awesome. So we handled if it's not hit. So now we can switch to the other branch where it actually is hit. If it's true, we need to set the hit actor. So we just get it out of the out thing. So this is another thing that in blueprints is really convenient to just set it as a variable so that we can reuse it somewhere down the line and not have, million wires running around. But considering that we are not dealing with blueprints, we can just, okay, we have hit actor and hit component. We just need to remember they're taken out of the out hit. Okay. So what we're doing here, we basically need to check if it has the direct interaction component. Ah, that's where the fun begins. Oh, I hate it so much. If has component. Do I have this implemented? Probably not. BPML macros. If has component. Where else do I use it? Fun references. That wasn't helpful. Okay. So it's in those macros, HUD message, TraceInteractor, and scales. Oh, and that's it. Okay. That's not too bad. But we're gonna extract this separate, right? Or was it, what is that? Macros. Oh, these are macros. That's different because macros, I believe, need to be specified on a specific. Yeah, so macros and blueprints work in a way that this is basically replaced, but during compilation, this is gonna get replaced by whatever's this definition is. Like literally, copy this and paste it in place here, and wire it up. That's what blueprints do. So in theory, it's kind of like templates in Nim, so we have an equivalent. But I'm just hoping that maybe this is simple enough that I don't have to do any of those ugly things. So basically, what do we have to do here? We have to basically get an actor and a component class. Get component by class. That's already something callable, right? Oops. Wait, we were doing a bunch of stuff. Can I just use the implementation from blueprints? Okay, to get component by class. That's the member name. Something tells me this is gonna be something interesting if we go to the source code. Maybe it will be just the same thing. Get component by class. Yeah, we just need to deal with all those T subclasses just like before. Yeah, there's no way around it. Oh well. So we check if check or get. We've got, let's just get back here. So basically, get the direct interaction component and check if enabled for interactions. Get the direct interaction component. Check if it's enabled / allow interaction. And then we're gonna do check if component has at least one of provided tags. To do check if tags provided given the filtering is enabled. And then will be save target as selected. That'll be it. CPN is asking, how's it going so far? So far we're moving forward, which is a big deal when it comes to NimForUE engine. But hey, I'm slowly learning tricks, so it's getting easier, I'd say. Which is always a good thing. So now first one, get the direct interaction component. Didn't we have that somewhere already? Not really, because we were checking for the other one. Which one was it? Here. We were getting the single transceiver, but that means we can just try to get that little bit of code. I need to fold some of this stuff in it. We can fold it now, do tick, we can fold it for now. And other unrelated things will be this whole class. There we go. Let's go to scroll. For some reason, I'm having difficulty finding things in Nim. I guess my brain it looks different now that my brain just doesn't stop in the spots where it's supposed to. So instead of TX class will be the direct interaction class. And it'll be U direct interaction component. So we make a subclass out of it. Then we basically need the component pointer. So, I was calling get transceiver component. How convenient. Where is it? Where did I define it? Oh no, all this code. Ew. Let's make it separate U function. Let's call it get. How do we call it here? Let's call it get direct interaction component. Direct interaction component. And it won't be the actor, it will be the self, whatever. Oh, it's the other component. Hit component, right? There we go. At some point, we're gonna call this. And we'll just need to rework it, and we already started doing something here. So we'll cut this. There we go. We'll do Let direct interaction component. Let's do interaction component is self get interaction component out hit component. Is that gonna be it? Out hit component hit actor. No, actually the actor. Look at that. Out hit actor. Is it really it? So let's do. It's that takes hit actor, a actor pointer. Okay, and we'll see if we can actually generalize it and extract it out of here so we can reuse it somewhere else in the future, if need be. So we were just going to paste this. And we've got that section here, and then we're gonna get that section here. Oof. This is way too long. So this get transceiver component is basically here, but we're not doing transceiver, right? So if actor is not valid, we return no. Okay. We can do actor is invalid and this and this and that. We just return no or something. Then components, we just get components by class and we provide the direct interaction class. Okay. If there's 0 components, we basically return nil. Okay, we've got a problem. There's more than one. We just ignore it, I guess. Whatever. We're gonna get the first one anyway. So then we've got the found component. So we're just gonna get the first one. If it's not valid, then we're gonna return nil. And then we can cast it to what it's supposed to be. In our case, it will be U, direct interaction component. And we're casting the found component. So this will be interaction component. Okay. And after cast, if it's nil, we again return nil. And then, this just gives us a chance to log it. Way too convoluted. And that will be this part. But instead of actor, we have hit actor. Okay. So that's that. We have components, found component, interaction component, and we don't return anything here. We can just keep going. So this goes away, I guess. Yeah. And then we can do, if the component pointer is nil, we don't do that because we already have it and we already cast it to what it's supposed to be. So we don't do that either. Okay. All right. That's better. So just return that and call it a day. Okay. It's got shorter. I can live with that. So let's go down and basically look here. So we get the component here. And then basically cast it here. That's good. And now we can basically check by calling get enabled. Okay. So that will be if false, we're gonna call the same false thing. Will be basically the same thing here. Huh. Interesting. I wonder if we could, because this is, if it's not enabled. I'm trying to find a way to just not have two copies of the same code here. Can I just do proc fail trace? And this would be basically this part. Remove selecting actor, all that stuff. And we can just call fail trace here. Return false. Sure, we could do that. It's a little bit better. And if interaction component. And we should have something on it like get enabled, right? Do we have it? Get enabled, self enabled, yeah. But that was enabled. We're not checking if it's interactive. Oh, because it doesn't matter if it's interactive. We're just selecting it, right? The whole idea here is that the reason why we have enabled and allows interactions separately is that because enabled is if we can even, if there's a slightest hint that we can even start interacting with something. And if that's no, then we just ignore it completely. But while the allow interactions means that when the component is enabled, even though we can't interact with it, but when we look at it, we can let the component know that it's being looked at by something, and therefore, maybe you can highlight or show an error message like, oh, you still need a key, or, whatever. So we can just display the state of it being disabled while still hinting at an interaction. So we will do get enabled, I believe. So here, f interaction dot get enabled. And we'll say if it's not, then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to fail the trace and return false. Yeah. So that part's done. And now we have the tag filtering. That shouldn't be too bad, right? For each loop of break, just some branching. So basically if the filter by tags. So let's do if self filter by tags. There we go. And what we're going to do here is for each of the tags to search for. So for tag and tags search for, what we're going to do here is the body. First we check if component has tags, has a tag. So we get the hit component. So if out hit dot component has tag. But we have multiple components. No, just that one. Yeah, hit component. Has tag. Really? Is it just has tag? I can't believe it will be that simple. Component has tag. That's probably the one that we need to search for. Or maybe it's renamed. Who knows? Let's search for that one. Component has tag. There we go. Actor component and name of the component. There we go. Component has tag, and we just give it the tag name. So what happens if it has it? If it has, we just mark it as has tag and break it. And if it's completed, then we check if it's okay. Good. If not, we just do that. So we don't even need to do the whole break thing. Basic, oh no, we have to. As tag is true, and then break. So we're gonna do as tag is false. So this is the whole loop. If it doesn't have tag, we just keep looping. And if not has tag, fail trace, return false, right? Same spot again. Cool. Well, if it has the tag, we can just continue as in save as selected. And this means we're going with this top route. First, we check if it's valid. We already kind of did. You know, we can assume that the, what is the selection? Selection is the direct interaction component. Okay. So yeah, component is valid. Is currently selected component valid? Oh, the actual currently. Then if it's switched, oh, so we basically, what we need to do is check if the component is different than the previous one. And if it's different, we basically need to remove, you know, let the old one know that we're not selecting anymore and select the new one. Yeah. And that's that. Okay, that should be easy enough. So basically, save target as selected. First step, check if different than already selected component. And then will be let notify old one that it's no longer selected and new one that's selected, and that's it. Okay, so let's check if they're different. I guess I can just compare them, right? If self.selected component is different than the interaction component we just got, yep, then we're gonna call selected component, remove selecting actor. There we go. And this one will be add selecting actor. And what is it that we call here? Target and actor to remove. Oh, it's just self. Okay, perfect. I just don't like that we're calling it so many times, so we're gonna replace it in a second. Oh yeah, we already did that. Cool. So let's see. Let's do let self actor is get owner. Or let's just call it owner actor. There we go. And where do we call it? Here. And do we have anywhere else? Just those two. There we go. Sure. So, gosh, that was simpler than I expected. At least something. And then we just interaction result as we just return it and return the hit result with it. Okay. Easy peasy. Return true. And the out actor is already set. No idea if this is gonna even compile. Most likely not. But let's try it. Okay, expression expected but found a period. Where? 135. Oh. Self. That's what we're missing. Expected parentheses, but got semicolon. Yep. Because we need to do the world context object that we kind of acquired before, but we have no idea if it works. Let's try to rebuild it. How do we get that? As self get world context object. That would be really handy. Attempting to call undeclared routine get world context object. Ha! Of course. What can we do in blueprints? World context. Find context. I know that we can. Doesn't this world context object exist somewhere with? I think there's like world thing or whatever. What if we're gonna just do self get world? World context object, self get world. Is there something of that sort? If that will work, I'll be very happy. Okay. Call undeclared routine, get world location. Alrighty, so let's take a peek at that part. It was right here. Get world location. We'll copy the node, paste it, and see what happens. Get component location. That's what it's gonna be. Ha! By the way, what kind of data does it need? Get component location. Components. It just needs the scene component. Okay. And that's supposed to be a world location. I totally don't mind that. Component location. Let's see what happens. So we can see that initially it finds all the syntax errors, like when it goes through the whole thing, even though it's past those errors. And then at some point it finds it. Interesting. And declared field of visibility. Oh, yeah, because we weren't sure about how it worked. It's going to be here. eTrace type query. Let's see if the type exists. Okay. Oh, it just has numbers. Oops. I don't think that's the thing we want. Trace type. Is there anything else about it? Because we used it in line trace single, right? So I'm gonna search for that again. They're both the same thing. eTrace type query. It is that type. Straight up here. What the heck? How am I supposed to know which one? Let's look at it in the Arnold engine, because trace channel, eTrace. Okay, so this is basically, oh, this is something that we would need to set in the, what do you call it, in the Unreal Engine, because we have like, well, 32 slots for those. So on Nim side, we just do it by number. Ew. Let's think. Let me just go to the browser to wherever the buttons went away. Yeah, Unreal Engine Nim. Let's go to Claude. And I'm gonna try to get the new chat. Come on, start a new chat. There we go. Wait, it thinks I'm not logged in or something? Why does it look so different? Where are my projects? New chat. There we go. NIM for Unreal Engine Expert. I made a little one for that. So let's explain it. And NIM for Unreal Engine, there is the following type definition. I'm just gonna plop it here. And Unreal Engine, I have simply camera and visibility displayed for convenience. Is it possible to get something similar, more friendly than just numbers on the C++ side? Because maybe C++ has just different way of dealing with that, and we would have some of those methods accessed or accessible. So let's for Claude to ponder. It is achieved through the project configuration files, especially in the oh no, we're seeing the raw enum definition, possible trace channels. So define the channels. Yes, that's what we would do normally in the editor. You can then use these custom channel names. Wait, where? CPP, fcollision query params, all that stuff. ECC game trace channel. So it kind of recognizes it here. So it suggests that we just plop it here. I don't think so. But let's try it. If that will work, that would be awesome, but I very much doubt so. Visibility. There we go. Try to compile it. Doesn't know it. Yeah. But let's take a look at our default engine any or INI. I don't know how to pronounce it. Where's the directory? So default engine. Oh, it's not gonna be even here, right? Wait, I'm in plugins here. Nope. Where is it located? Default engine. So let's just look what order they were in. It was this one, so we can just try to make it use the first one and just make it happy for now. Trace type query 1. There you go. Oops. Stop. Save, run again. Let's see if it's even gonna compile. Oh. What happened here? Type mismatch. Line 140. Of course it's here. Does it say which one? Type mismatch. 9. Oh. 9. There's 8 of them. I guess ignore self doesn't have a default. So ignore self, true. Okay, no return type declared. Oh. There you go. There's a return type. Declared field actor. For type engine types f hit result. So let's search for f hit result and see what it looks like on the on nim side. F hit result. Wow, there's a lot on it. Location point normal. There's component, but there is no actor. Okay, I see. So we don't have actor. We would need to get a component and get an actor out of the component. Doable. We just call get owner on the component, right? So where's that error? Component dot get owner. And let's try to compile that. It's just so many tiny little things. Oh, type mismatch. There we go. Get owner. Okay, because this is a weak object pointer. And that means we can't do something with it. What is a weak object pointer? Of type T. Holds an object. Okay. Come on, what's going on? So basically, get owner expects either actor pointer or U actor component pointer. Well, here we get primitive component. How can we make it into a nice component? How can I take the and value and get the actual actor component instance out of it? Get methods. Really? Because from pointer you can just call get. And then cast it to sure, there we go. Let's do it the disgusting way. So let's actually do let out hit actor will be so out hit component. Okay, we're gonna just turn it a component first. Component. Okay. Get. I don't think that's gonna work, but we'll try. And then to get the actor, we'll just call that on this, and we'll just call out hit actor. It's not gonna work. There will be no get thing. There's no way. Oh, now we moved on to component has tag. first one needs to be, oh, we gave it a weak object pointer. Oh, get direct interaction component. That's probably it. Where is it? No, that's, oh yeah. That's it. Out hit component. And that's the problem here. So what do we give it? Oh, so we don't have to do that. We just do out hit component that we already pre-calculated. Okay. Huh, if that works, I'll be amazed. How did it know that you just call get? Collision params. What is that? Oh, that's our old placeholder that we didn't replace. So we just do let found interactive self trace, and we just need to give it the hit result. We actually can do, how did it work in here? Do we need to do it like this with tuple out hit and the trace? Oh, let's just do for whatever out hit, and we're just gonna pass it on here instead of creating it there. For now, I can clear it up at some point. Trace will be for, out hit is for F hit result. Okay. And where do we define it? Here. Bam, gone. Tuple expected. Oh, of course, because we haven't updated this. Duh. But this is good, and the rest just goes. Sure. If we're getting that far, we might actually compile, but what? Type mismatch and get owner. Last select the other component. Actor pointer. Selected component. Proc. What? How do we define selected component? Yeah. Give a selected component. Well, I expect it to be this or that. Why does it show that it's a procedure? That's weird. It doesn't mind it here. It minds it here. Let selected actor. I don't understand. Same thing. For some reason, it treats it as a procedure. You trace interactor pointer that returns you direct interaction component pointer. What on earth is it tracking? Because in doTick, we don't set it anywhere. And the definition is straight up this. What the heck? Do we need to call the weird get on it again? The magical get? No. What the heck? Is selected component a... Oh, stop, of course. Self.selected component. That's it. And last selected actor component cannot be assigned to. Okay. Where do we define it? We're missing a bunch of selves. That's what it is. If self last component is this, and then self here, and self here, and there. Or not. Last selected actor component. Where is it defined? Here, last selected actor component. Oh, the assignment isn't available. It's defined as a uprop. So, oops. I mean, assigning the pointers didn't have any problem before. Wait, what was it again? Because it's you actor component pointer, that's why? What if we're gonna change it into you direct interaction component pointer? That's what it's supposed to be anyway, at all times. Yep, that was it. Interesting. Because... Oh, because it was set as the actor component. Oh, I see. So I guess we have a different code in Unreal Engine, right? This is the trace, but above the trace, last selected actor component versus selected component. So selected component shows direct interaction, while this one is actor component. Oh yeah, that should be good because actor component is the one that doesn't have location, while scene component is the one that has. So I don't know why we couldn't accept that. Let's try to start a project and see if it crashes. Because we made a lot, we wrote a lot of code. I think a record amount without checking if it works. So I expect bad things to happen because that's what usually happens. Okay, it opened. That's progress. And I believe there will be few errors because when I try to run it, the first person character is unhappy about this not being here. So for some reason it doesn't have the TraceInteractor. We add the TraceInteractor. There we go. And on begin play, we need to call the init thing. There we go. Compile, save. Let's see if that works for now. As in, okay, that works. Those things still work. That's good. It's very good. So now what we can do is get the tick, event tick, and we can basically plug in do tick or something like that, right? We defined do tick. Bam, here's the delta seconds. We're simulating it. Whatever. It's ugly, but it works for now. Whoa. Stop. So what happened here? So we started with attempt to access TraceInteractor via property TraceInteractor, but TraceInteractor is not valid pending kill or garbage. We probably don't have the other thing. Yeah, so did it show an errors? Warning, could not find interaction transceiver component. That's what it is. We need to add the component interaction, signal transceiver, compile it, save, and now it should work. Oh, we didn't get errors. Gosh, this is a bit too large. How to clean it? Right click, clear log. There we go. Start. And why isn't it following? Started, it's not scrolling. So that works and nothing happens. Okay. Can I like show the traces or something? I'm sure it was configurable. So TraceInteractor. Oh, we need to first place it on the first person camera. Sure, that looks good. Let's just plop it front a little bit and maybe it's gonna be good direction. Who knows? And then do we have any settings here? Select a component. That's not it yet. Interaction range, minimum, maximum, radius, interaction radius, automatic tracing, trace interval, debug traces. For duration, okay? Now let's see if that works. Look at, oh, crash. What the hell? Exception access violation. Show me the directory. I want to see the logs. But hey, it worked for a second. These are the old ones. In world starting. Warning, interaction transceiver component found. So that's good, okay. No errors again. Gotta love those weird errors. We'll just start a project again and maybe it's gonna, oh no, I didn't save, right? Why did it go to the other side? I'm just rebuilding by accident. Okay, let's start a project. I'm in the editor. CPN is asking, are you making a new project from scratch or porting an existing project? I am porting an existing project that I made many years ago, probably like 2011 or something, 2012. Or maybe 2013, who the hell knows? Early days of Unreal Engine 4. And if I will, it basically allows you to, interact with levers if they will be interactive. I mean, I guess I have everything broken now because I was making some temporary changes, but interactive with levers, with whatever, making things easy to link up together. So the main project started. Oh no, I need to do the same thing again. Yep. TraceInteractor, please. And let's add direct. Oh no, interaction signal transceiver. TraceInteractor goes into the camera and it's a little bit higher up. Doesn't compile yet. So this guy, init, and do tick. Okay, that's better. Compile, save, and save all, please. That should work, I hope. Yeah. You know what? Let's close it. And let's start the project again. I want to see if it's gonna go away or it's gonna hold it. Because if it's gonna go away, I'll be very upset. Play. Look at that. It just invalidates itself. It removes the TraceInteractor and the other component automatically. What the heck? Component class is not set for interaction signal transceiver. This component will not be instanced. What? And component class is not set for TraceInteractor. That's new. What's wrong with those? I mean, they are just uClass. Scene component, just like all the other ones. That's weird. Very weird. Every time after stream, I'm either happy or unhappy, and I'm considering like, maybe the game I'm gonna make, is it gonna be an Unreal Engine or maybe not? Because if Nim would work nicely, I could do parts of the game in Unreal Engine. But if Nim works the way it works right now, I really don't want to deal with it. Because half the time I break stuff. Yeah, and I would like to use Unreal Engine because I could just do fun stuff. I don't want to use Godot. And definitely not touching Unity with even with a stick. I really don't know why these just disappear. So let's just I'm just gonna add them quickly for now. Interaction transceiver. Again, this guy goes up here. And we just fix those. And the other one was in it. CPN is asking, why not try creating a new project? I mean, I made a new project for porting. So, this is from scratch, doesn't have any code, whatever, blueprints that were created in the old project. These are completely separate. The old one is Unreal Engine 4, the new one is Unreal Engine 5. But I'm basically porting older project to the new version just so that I don't have... It's a little bit simpler for me to recreate something that already exists than come up with something new, because if I would be doing something new, not only my workflow right now would be that, okay, I need to figure out how to do it, how to make it work in blueprints, something I'm really rusty with. And then I will need to go through the process that I'm already going through, which is figuring out how it kind of works in C++, and then figuring out how it would work in Nim. So this way I'm just removing one extra variable of where things can go wrong, especially that I'm rusting in Unreal Engine. So that's that. Okay, so again, a crash. I want to give up. Here you go, another crash. I just want to give up. Why? And it doesn't specify anything at all why it crashes. I mean, there's kind of a stack trace here. Can I just copy it? Oops, wrong buttons again. Running wrong ID. Yeah, this seems hard. I mean, it's just... Unreal Engine is absolutely vast on its own. And it takes some effort to do stuff on a, to learn it on a C++ side of things. And when you try to wrap it with yet another language that sits between C++ and Blueprints, which is you doing kind of things both ways instead of just Blueprint way or just C++ way. So it's get confusing, and I am far away from being C++ expert or Unreal Engine expert, so yeah, it's just I figured out, you know what, I'm gonna do something crazy, tried it, and starting to regret it. So, add a core object, colon anonymous game, okay. Generate AST, okay. Interactions nim 216. So it shows that it's within do tick, within trace. Okay, so for the first time we actually have some stack traces. Look at that. And in trace is just UE bind 147. So interactions line 216. Here. Oh, I just called trace. Great. Okay. One more hint or something, because this just shows nothing. UE bind. Code gen. And nothing here. Interactions 162. Okay. 162. That's inside trace. If not, interaction component get enabled. Really? Are we sure interaction component? Oh, look at that. We're not checking because get and direct interaction component can be null or nil. We're not checking for that. So if it's... Do we really want to call valid? No. If interaction component is nil. I think that's what we could do. So let's just look at the code. So this might be just a small bug on our side. Insert trace has component. If it doesn't have a component, we go the fail route. So if it's nil or not that, then we return false. Okay. Let's rebuild it and see if it's gonna change anything. CPN says, I've heard people say C++ in the Unreal Engine is easier than C++. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. So what it means is that, you know, C++ is a language where most of the time you manage your memory, right? But the thing is that Unreal Engine, partially because let's check, when was Unreal Engine actually created, the first version of it? Come on, new tab. Unreal Engine Wikipedia. So yeah, it was created, released 1998. And because of that, especially back then, there weren't a lot of libraries, there wasn't a lot of good stuff in a standard library. And because of that, you know, Epic Games, they basically build out their own versions of, I don't know, some dynamic arrays, or maybe dealing with that kind of type, dealing with this kind of graph, whatever, because, you know, you're dealing with lots of math, everything needs to be as high performance as possible and as safe as possible, because you don't want things to go wonky and suddenly your things crashing. It's better if you just have an error somewhere in the logs, but the game still works, kind of, rather than, you know, things breaking. So because of that, when you're writing C++ in Unreal Engine, you're using a lot of their stuff, like their implementation of arrays, their implementation of sets, their implementation of vectors, of this and that, you know, so many different things. And they are all kind of garbage collected. You probably might have noticed that, you know, for all the components, we're not just creating classes, we're creating classes that inherit from uScene component, which inherits from uPrimitive component. All these are, and eventually they all inherit from something called uObject, which is basically like garbage collected object that you can call kill on it, and it's gonna get managed depending on a game loop and whatever. Everything is just wrapped in their systems. So at the end of the day, you're not writing a lot of really low level stuff, and you don't have to worry about, you know, memory as much. But you need to, on top of normal C++ stuff, you need to learn the Unreal Engine stuff, which is a lot of very specialized stuff. And that's why can be considered easier than playing C++ if you put time into it. Yeah. Tried a few times, and it's just, I don't know, I guess where I bounced off with C++ for Unreal Engine is that I like to make utilities for blueprints, and sometimes it's just overcomplicated to make those utilities look nice in the editor. And I don't know, I just, usually when I start using some kind of technology, I instantly run into some weird edge cases, because I guess I like to do weird stuff. So that's that. Like my first project in Nim uses methods in Nim which are weird and half the time don't won't work, but my specific use case really needed them. So go figure. Okay, we compiled it. Let's start a project because we might have fixed the error. Simple, null pointer error. Null value. The most common problem, the $1 trillion problem, as they say. And of course, nothing works. I'll need to ask about that. Maybe J.M. Gomez can suggest why things wouldn't work this way. TraceInteractor. There we go. First person camera. Bam. And we need the interaction signal component or transceiver. That's here too. Okay, at least wiring up isn't too complicated. Okay, good. Again, save all, and it's gonna fail anyway. And when we start, I look at that, look away. We're not getting crashes so far, no matter what we're looking at, so that's progress. Okay. Cool. So now we can go and enable traces. TraceInteractor. Debug traces for duration. It should work now where we can see where we looked, okay? For a duration of time. Cool. And they light up green when we actually hit, I believe, a component that's, no, all of them. They show up green anyway. Oh, after we hit it. Interesting. So, yeah, that's that. Our tracing works from Nim, which is awesome. The only thing that would need to be implemented now is actually pressing a button to perform an action. So that's cool because I wonder if we can just highlight the player character, first person character. There we go. And we can select the TraceInteractor. And it should show which is the selected component. Okay. But I don't know if we have anything. Wait, F8 again or something? Nope. How do I make it not deselected? TraceInteractor. Lock. F8. Oh, there we go. It won't show because we don't have anything with direct interaction component, I presume. Let's check if we have something with interaction component. This one does not. But what if we're gonna make it have interaction component? So direct interaction. Okay, it's here. CPN is wondering what 9098 under engine would be like. You can actually kind of try it out. The first game, when I got my first computer, the first Unreal, the game, was actually installed on it. And oh gosh, I loved that game. Where's the browser? The first person shooter, Unreal. Okay. And do they show pictures? I mean, newer versions look a little bit better, but the The thing is that it came with the editor. You could actually edit stuff already back then, I believe. Return to Nepali, exactly. Development, graphics, audio. YouTube.com. Let's see. Unreal Engine 1. These are the games. I want the actual editor. Wait, Unreal Engine editor. I think it came with an editor. Yeah. So, oh yeah, that's what it looked like. It was very Windowsy. But yeah, that's what you could do. It was built for, I guess, Windows 95 back then when it was starting. And now when I look at it, it looks very similar to Serious Engine. That's the first game engine where I actually did some stuff. Because I liked the game Serious Sam. So yeah, that's fun. Gosh, it'll be fun to play some the first Unreal. It's a fun game. Although it can be difficult at times. Alrighty, so hey, we've got success. This works. We just added the direct interaction. And that means should probably not crash when we hover over here. Okay, it didn't crash. That's good. It hits the trigger block. So I don't know if we're hitting the proper visibility channel, but we're hitting something, so that's progress. Let me just select the first person character. Here we can select the TraceInteractor. I'm gonna lock it, and I believe here the selected component should show up when we hover over this. It isn't showing up. So I guess we're still don't have it working. Ay. I don't have patience for debugging that today, unfortunately. But hey, we've got some progress. Let's just let's comment this and the interactions. So implement tracing and TraceInteractor. Okay. Let's push it. Exactly, progress is progress. And I'm gonna close this temporarily. I want to actually check where can you play Unreal Engine 1? Where to get to play Unreal Gold Edition, sure. Unreal Gold. Compact disc. Oh no. You can find them on the classic games archive. Is it legal to play it from a website like that? That's the question. Is it safe? Gosh, I would love to play it right now. Is it on Epic Games Store? If they don't have their own first Unreal Engine, first Unreal game, that would be silly. Unreal. Nope. I mean, the other way would be to go on eBay and find a CD with it. So in theory, if you really want to, you could. And I don't think Steam is gonna have it either. So let's search Unreal. Nope, it's not gonna be here. Unreal Gold, especially the Gold edition. Ay, too bad. That'll be a fun thing to play. Good old FPS. Maybe I'll just take a peek at trying to debug it a little bit. So the idea would be that when we are tracing, we could just add a log that, hey, we actually found a hit. So let's do UE warn, sure. We hit something, sure. There we go, that's the first one. And then got all those, out hit actor, interaction component, and we've got an interaction component. Okay. Then we have this filter by tags. We just need to make sure it's false. Look at that. We're already stopping here. Because we're doing here if self filter by tags. We need to do it here. There we go. Bam. Another bug found. So let's do went through it all. Okay, just a bunch of random debug logs. I won't tell anyone. Oh, Taros Mazepa says hello. Some time ago, looks like. Sorry for not monitoring Twitch chat. How are you doing today? If you're still there. Okay, so if we're gonna start the editor, it's gonna probably again not have the TraceInteractor hooked up. I really don't know why it's happening this way. Yeah, look at that. It's all gone for no reason. Taras is saying, doing good, watching Jenkins failing for 9th time. Oh, that sounds like fun. Used Jenkins a few times in my life. I guess it does the job well, right? Alright, we've got this guy. The event, interaction signal transceiver, there we go. And we just need to hook up the TraceInteractor to do init again. And the do tick. All right, and play. Oh, look at that. We hit something. We've got a bunch of those. But not much else. Because we did hit something, and we've got a bunch of logs. that we did hit something, but nothing past it. So what's going on there? We hit something, and now we have this out hit component. We get the owner. I mean, we're assuming that it's fine. So I guess the interaction component is nil every time. So let's do if what? Commandlet. I guess I pressed some combination. Is nil. We'll do what do you call it? UE warn. No interaction component, okay? We're just gonna log that part. And in get interaction component, what's going on here? Why are we returning nil? I mean, I can just compile it and it should just work. CPN retracted some messages. Interesting. And Taras says, I want to replace it with something better, but other developers are too scared. Oh, really? Yeah, in one of my previous jobs, I was able to move us from Jenkins to GitHub Actions. But we're using GitHub and that worked really well. But it really depends on what you're doing. Okie dokie. And I personally really like GitHub Actions. Yeah. But yep, not always possible. Okay, so that recompiled. That means we should just play it again. We have no interaction component. Okay, so it's 100% we're failing. So now why? We create a subclass. And here we can just do hit actor is invalid. Just in case, all right? Because we're passing it there, maybe that's the problem. Compiling is so fast, so effortless that we can just compile and make sure that it's not it before we proceed. Because we're making that actor in a weird way, right? Start again. No, that's fine. That part is fine. Interesting. Yeah, in my current job, I would really like to replace some things with something more modern. Mostly for Vue.js, we're using Gulp, I believe is the name of it. I would like to use Vite to make it just a little bit more modern. It's valid. So then we get component by class. So here we can say we have no components. And here the found component is not valid. And here will be the casting to this failed. So let's see which one is it. Yeah, I must say that working in two different types of organizations is vastly different. I work in some organizations where, you know, there's just few developers and you have a lot of power in making decisions. And that's where you can actually, it's a bit easier to push, you know what, let's do this. Let's replace Jenkins with actions because this and that. Or maybe the part of the project that you're working on, you're going to sneak that in. And then people are like, oh, this works nice. And then you can convince people. But for example, in a larger organization where you're just one of, 20 teams and, you know, they are like, okay, we're the company decides we're doing things that way, that other thing we're doing that way, and whatnot, that's where it's really difficult to make a change, because not only you need to convince the developers, but also the company itself, which is usually lots of reasons, like, the current thing works, why change it? That says, in my case, I would just fire those non-smart developers. Yeah. Too bad. Maybe I'll find a way around it. Okay, we did compile. Let's see what is wrong with our code. We have no components. Huh. Interesting. So, but this one has no. It got removed as well. What trigger? I thought we had the direct interaction component. Maybe this whole time it works. I'm just like an idiot assuming that it has what it's supposed to have. Oh, what the hell just happened? The asset failed to save. Cancel. Why did you fail to save? What? Do I close Git? Maybe that confuses it, but it should be compatible with Git. Go figure. Cancel. We need to restart the editor because this is weird. Don't save. Sure, open them. And let's see if we can add the direct interaction here. Compiles. Saves. Very interesting. I don't understand why it wouldn't save. So let's do something different. In easy interactions nim, right? We're gonna delete everything intermediate, and I believe saves. That's another thing that we can just straight up remove. Because photo is open on a program. What? Don't save that part. What else do we have? We have some kind of anything else open in there? Oh, Unreal Engine's running, that's why. Okay. All right. So let's start it up, and it should probably process a bit more. Intermediate and saved already showed up. It'll take it 10 seconds longer to run to start, and that's it. All right. We're back here. Now here. Let's see what's going on. Can edit it, and it shows up back here. Add direct interaction. Compile, save. Okay, save worked. Oof. Now we can go to the where is it? First person character, which is still unhappy. TraceInteractor, sure. And what was the other one? Interaction signal transceiver. I wonder that TraceInteractor is unhappy because I have this begin place specified, but for some reason it's not done the proper way. Do tick. Okay, all connected. I can save and I can start the game, right? It says we hit something. No interaction component. And it just says here, no interaction component, so that's good. This one has interaction component, to my surprise. And we're not printing any errors. What the heck? Okay, this is a little bit confusing. Because in our code, first of all, this turn off real time or my computer's gonna fry. Not this one. So we just tried this, and it doesn't say that we don't have components anymore, nor that, nor that. It's all good. It says that only when we are actually not pointing at something that has the component. So I'm fine with this. That means the problem is we hit something. It's not null. Maybe it's not enabled on engine 1. Interaction component is not enabled because that's the only option by now. That would be interesting if enable. Oh, maybe it's just I failed to set the default. That might be another thing. Okie dokie. Let's run it now. No interaction component, so that's fine. Interaction component is not enabled. That's it. We probably just have, you know, direct interaction enable is set to false. Of course. Need to change those defaults. Oh, now we're gonna crash. So I guess we went past it, and we'll see how far we went to. So first of all, I'm gonna open up the log, and let's see if we're gonna get somewhere. All the way to the bottom. We hit something. We've got an interaction component. So we printed to here. We just didn't print after it, so we didn't get to here. Cool. I don't think we're doing anything here. So the thing that is crashing is this, which is basically calling the selected component and the other stuff. So I see. We're just straight up calling this remove from the selected component while it's initially empty, right? So if self.selected component is nil. So if it's not nil, we call this. Otherwise, we don't. And for the new actor that's selected, we're good. For not selected, we're not gonna get here, so this should fix the problem. Build. Okay, I don't mind little errors like that. I can deal with that. I just don't understand the fact that things are just straight up not saving. So let's try that. I'm going to start the editor, and if it's gonna show that, you know, I'm gonna link it up or just clean it up and just add the component. If I link it up, I'm gonna save it. And if it's still not gonna show up properly after restarting the editor, what the heck? Oh, it's building the whole editor now. Oh, dear God. What? I guess that's what happens when you use start editor command rather than double click the U project. Okay, starting up. Again, showed up here for some reason. Alrighty. So let's see if this one has the proper component. It has the direct interaction. It's enabled and all good. So in the meantime, let me just go to the direct interaction component and set the default values, okay? Is enabled, true. All interaction, true. There we go. Select, of course, false, and selectors, false. So that part's good, okay? Now, let's go to the first person character. There we go. All wrong. It's gonna clear the error. I'm gonna add TraceInteractor to here. I'm going to compile it and save it. I'm also gonna go straight up here, save all. I'm gonna close the editor and let's try to restart it and see if it still fails, because if it does, I want to check something. Okay, open the previous one. See, there's no TraceInteractor. It just removes itself. So let's just look at our TraceInteractor, because maybe there is a little problem somewhere here. Not this guy. TraceInteractor. And we have uprops, ufunc. And this one should be fine. This one. We have it defined. We never saw the begin play happen, but what's gonna but you know, this is supposed to override the Unreal Engine stuff. So what the hell's gonna happen if I'm gonna do this? And we have trace in here defined as well. I mean tick. No. What if I'm gonna build it now? Maybe just removing that will actually make it save again, because this could have been something that just confuses the hell out of Unreal Engine. Something's defined wrong way and just prevents stuff from being saved properly. I guess it prevents some issue by causing some other issues, right? Alrighty, so the moment of truth is coming. Open it up here. And TraceInteractor. Okay. Plop it somewhere here so it's not default spot. Compile, save. Save all. Twice. Close it. Okay. And let's start the editor again. Taras says, I have added a new flag to Stack's comment command, -u. It only adds changes from files which are already in a repository. Okay. As in ignore all the new stuff. Alright. I guess that's very useful for those people who refuse to create git ignore files, right? Okay, this started up. Let's see if we can get to here and no, TraceInteractor still doesn't exist. Okay, I've got no words for that. No clue why it doesn't work. Wait, do tick and it. Good. That part's wired up, and we just need the interaction. Oh, come on. There we go. Compile, save. Let's start a game. Okay. We'll go to here. Here it says interaction component not enabled. What? What did it try to interact with? And a crash. What the heck? Come on. And it doesn't show core object, game. Because I must say, I really would like to make a game using Nim because it just sounds like something fun, something that could be enjoyable. And, you know, amazing learning experience. But I don't want to make like a micro game. I like a larger challenge. So there's no like engine to run it with. And I don't want to make my own engine because that would take 30 years for me to learn how to make an engine. Because as you probably noticed, I'm not the fastest developer. Went through it all. Look at that. It went through it all a bunch of times. So, or at least once. Oh, it went through it all once and then it just gave up? Ah, that's a hint. So we have our trace, went through it all, and returned true. Okay, so that's good. So then what is using that trace? The do tick. Got our out hit, found interactive, and therefore it returned true. Found interactive. Ignore if the selection didn't change. And here's a selected component. It should be self.selected component. That's the first problem. So if it's the same as the last one, then return. Otherwise, selected act, we create a new one. Selected actor is self-selected component, get the owner, so that should work. And broadcast the selected actor. That should be fine. Last selected actor component is this one. If not found interactive, we just blah blah. Selected component is nil. Okay, we just set it to nil every time. We make that small little change. Maybe that's actually enough because probably every time I needed to do the check and it failed here. Somehow this hasn't been caught. Oh, we need to wire the whole thing again. Tara says, yes, I was showing stacks to a person from co-working and they said they use git add -u a lot. Okay. So I decided to add it. Awesome. I think good way to learn is to create micro engine, then smaller engine, and so on. Yeah, but the thing is, I don't want to create an engine because that means I'm going really low level, and I really don't like graphics programming. For some reason, it just doesn't click with me, especially it involves math. And the lowest I would go ever would be probably to create some kind of voxel rendering something. And no lower. I don't like it. I don't like dealing directly with all the... Still compiling or something? What the heck? Stop. Yeah, I don't like dealing with directly with all the either OpenGL or SDL stuff or Vulkans, and I would like to have an engine so that I can write a fun game. Maybe not the prettiest, maybe not the most fun, but something that works, and I can just package it, put it on Steam, put it on wherever it's possible, and know that it works, instead of then supporting additionally, like, oh, you know what, on this kind of graphics card it doesn't work, and then it's on me because I didn't implement something because I didn't know, and then it becomes a nightmare. Okay, this just stopped working altogether. What the heck? What is with this code that it suddenly made it not work? We can't compile suddenly. That's not the first compilation that we're doing after that big restart, right? Because we already compiled with removing the whole, what do you call it, begin play. So what's going on here? Let's cancel it and let's try reverting it back to selected component, because that's what it was before. And now it compiles. No. Linking, creating library. It just stopped compiling. Just for the heck of it. That's interesting. That's a new error. What the hell did we change? Wait, what? It added bunch of starter content? Seriously? Discard them all. Plugin. What changed here? Nothing changed here. We set those to true, which shouldn't be a problem. Wait. Really? We have that uncommitted? We can actually discard a few of those. We want definitely this hunk. All that is fine here. Yeah, we definitely want this change. Where'd the last one go? And checking if it's nil here. Yes, there's this hunk. That's good. Yeah, we don't need any of those warnings, nor those anymore. And this I want in place. And then those two assets changed. First person character changed too. Interesting. Do we need to rebuild NimForUE engine? Something tells me we'll need to rebuild it. Something happened there. So minor fixes. Push. So let's do that. Let's get to plugins. What's that plugin? Oh, nim generate the code and empty. Oh, so nim, when it generates code, it generates it as a plugin. Interesting. So how can we set it up? Let's just get help with our NimForUE engine again. Sure, clean H, clean libs. We'll just do clean everything. Clean H, clean libs, and overall clean. Clean bindings. How about that? And this will be gen bindings all. Let's see if that fixes something. It just takes time again. Sorry about that. Come on. Oh, by the way, on Wednesday, I will be trying out something new. Because Wednesdays, I'm trying to have a live stream, which is more like web development, not necessarily Nim. And for that, we're gonna actually try SurrealDB. I don't know if any of you heard about SurrealDB, but I am for sure intrigued. Tried it a few times for very simple things, and it looks like fun. It's a database, but it's like definitely multi-model. Because, I mean, the way it works is that you can use it as an SQL, even has SQL-like language, which is very similar. But each entry in a table can be a little bit like a document where you can add or not include or whatever. You can have a schema, or you can not have a schema, however you want. You can nest stuff. But unlike things like Mongo, you actually have, each table has its IDs, or like whatever, each record has its IDs. You can link between things properly. And on top of that, you have graph-like features where you can just specify relations between things with additional values. And a lot more on top of that, features like time travel, and it's just a lot. It'll be a fun thing to look through. So I need to come up with a little tiny project that could utilize it to some extent, to just learn the syntax a little bit. Okay, we've got the bindings, and CPN says that he's heard about it. As far as I heard about it, it's not my cup of tea. All right. It's definitely my cup of tea because I'm really lazy with databases and I just refuse to learn SQL. I just refuse to learn SQL to the point where I'm comfortable with it. So this way I could learn something that's not 100% SQL. So I could just go a different route and get some extra superpowers. All right, let's see if it compiles now. Please compile. If not, we will need to Oh. No, that's not good news yet. It might be something with my computer where it just froze forever. Okay, CPN says I never tried any NoSQL databases, while Tara says I love SQL because of SQL Delight. What on earth is SQL Delight? TypeSafe Kotlin? Oh, for Kotlin. Okay. That's a nice burger made of database shape. Okay, I see. The way I interacted with SQL is through Entity Framework Core, which is for .NET, and it just nicely generates database for you, or the other way around, and you just interact like with objects. And SQLC. And let's go, I presume. Types of code from SQL. Okay, so it, again, generates. Interesting. So this is database 2 code. The light is, again, database 2 code. Very interesting. Huh. While the approach that I'm usually used to is that you have code 2 database where Entity Framework Core, for example, you would define the model, like I'm defining that I want a blog, and it has those values, right? Like blog ID as int, URL as string, rating as int, and posts maybe as a list of posts, and a post is, has that data, right? And then you define a context, which basically holds blogs, posts, and maybe add some additional configuration options. And if your database already has that defined in it, you can just use it. If not, this can generate SQL migration for you that compares the database and, update everything for you. And this way you can just have the code however you want. So that's the usual approach I'm using. And this way I'm not touching any SQL at all. Everything adding and everything goes through code, not through SQL, including joins and whatnot. So yeah, that's why I don't know raw SQL too much. CPN says that SQLC was written in Go. It's also available for TypeScript. Cool. All right. So no, this is not building. We're gonna take up big guns. And by big guns, I mean we're just gonna go to our plugins, NimForUE engine. So let's go like this. This goes away completely. And NimForUE engine, we're just gonna select everything here and delete. Oops. What the hell did I just press? Oh. Bindings, editor. Interesting. Just as more stuff here that generates. So delete that. Wait, where did the plugins go? I straight up deleted plugins? No, I am here. Okay. Yeah, all this stuff. Delete. Now, how the hell do I reset Git to the proper spot? Sure, somebody knows that. Probably both you, CPN, and Taras. You probably both know how to reset the branch. How? But I don't know. How do I reset changes to repo and git. Whatever the proper wording is. Git reset, head, hard head, okay. Discard all local changes and working directory, okay. Undo the last commit, nope. Undo stage changes, nope. Yeah. Discard changes for a specific file and a specific commit. I presume this. This sounds the most right. Okay. Git pull. Get new changes. No new changes. Okay. Oh, this is my comment. Huh, that's funny. Really? Oh yeah, things are back. Okay. Now what was it? Let's go to the docs because I forgot how to set it up now. Nim for engine pages, installation, clone it, go there, and we do nimble new. Okay. Doesn't look like we had any errors. All right. See you around CPM. Maybe on Wednesday. And, take a good care of yourself. All right. New setup. That should generate everything, right? Build the project and all the necessary nim files. Yeah. And then we can just do start a journal, all that stuff. I need just to generate PCH types, all that stuff. Good. So hopefully it's gonna do something this time. All right, it'll be Tuesday morning for you. That's still crazy to think about it. See ya. Okay, well, this is working. I want to take a peek at SurrealDB. Resources, SurrealDB documentation. Introduction. Yeah, starting the database, all the boring stuff. And okay. Running queries in SurrealDB. Sure. Create account set. Name is this. And created at time now. Okay, that looks nice. Run the query. And response created at. Generated the ID. That's the thing about Surreal, that all the IDs are uniform. You don't choose like, okay, this is GUID, this is an int, or this is whatever else. It just has its own format. And then you have, for example, create author with specified ID John. And we said that it has a name, and within the name, we set the first and last and full, which is combine those two. Okay. Age is number, admin true, and sign up time now. Oh, that's interesting. Look at that. Name is all that. Huh. That's fun. How's our nim going? still working. I think. Yep. I really like that. That's fun. I wonder if one could do, let's do Jane. And instead of name first, we're gonna do name is first. Jane. Last. I know. Johnson. And name full is, I guess one could do this. Still. We get rid of those. Will that work? Run. Nope. Okay, I guess it doesn't like this kind of setup. Oh, and this. Nope, doesn't change it. Oh, well. And I don't think it's a difference between double quotes and single quotes. Nope, okay. Still running. Okay, how to create a blog article record. Create article. Okay, set. Created at author. Oh, and we'll link to the author. That's the whole ID. Okay. Title, Lauren Emsum. Text is all this stuff. And then account. We can just do a search here. So we just do select value ID from account where name is this and limit to 1. And then because this is probably a list of queries or no, list of IDs, right? So even though we have limit 1, it's still a list. So we just extract the first one. Okay. That's cool. And yeah, account just found this one. That's good. Okay. And Jane wasn't created, so I guess that's not it. It looks like my computer calmed down, so yes, this is all set up. So what are the changes to the repo? Something changed? No, not really. Let's see if we can build the project now. Please build. It's building some of the stuff. All right, now we build it. Okay. Oof. I wonder if that's gonna fix our Unreal Engine problems. If that would be the case, I would be very happy. But then it's like, why did it break in the first place? Okay, reopen something. This is of course broken because why not? Okay, TraceInteractor. Let's actually enable the debug traces. Cool. And let's hook it up. Okay, this one's good. How about this guy? Doesn't have the dark interaction? It does. Oh, and we need to add the interaction signal transceiver. There we go. Play. Okay, nothing in the console. Oh, crash, instant crash. Oh. It's mostly due to casting, it feels like. Mostly the problems are somewhere where we're casting or doing other stuff, the tedious, weird stuff. The log probably won't tell us anything. Well, we went through it all, so that's good. That means we need to add our debugging somewhere else because we've got something here in the stack trace. Interactions 228 component blah blah, and nothing interesting here. So interactions 228. What do we have there? 228. Oh, so went through this, but now here it's not happy. Why? Components.nim, the get owner and get class. Not accessible tracking get. Resolve object handler handle no read. Huh. It's as if it didn't exist. And this should be self to actually run it. I guess it didn't matter because this is a pointer and it's probably supposed to be pointer to a procedure or something. Who the hell knows? Let's just hope that I can recompile the project. Okay, we could recompile. So at least that's progress. And that means our thing is still gonna be broken. Of course. At this rate, it will be easier for me to program a whole button and an interface to just configure everything for me. Ridiculous. Okay. File, save all. Went through it all. Okay, we're not crashing now. What? Oh, I remember programming that. That whenever it's selected, it's just turning. So that works. Oh, that's awesome. All we need to do is look at it and it's like, hey, it's highlighted for interaction. Whoa. There we go. Whew. Now I just want to play with it. Come on, get close to it. Oh. Just need to make sure not to look at the thing. And, yep, there we go. Silly things. But yeah, it works. So, yep, I call today a success to some extent, because we have actually selecting working. It stops and everything, and yeah. Okay, so that will be it. A little bit shorter stream today, because honestly, I don't have energy to go on. It's just Nim for on the engine just, I know, it just exhausts me because there are so many problems to solve. But the last thing we can do is basically remove this went through it all. Okay, because that's kind of ugly. And anything else here? The delay timer. Oh, maybe we could try that, right? Tracing here. Trace, and then we'll be tracing selection. And we just need the delay timer. And we could actually try to do it the similar way. I just really wonder if it could work the way where we just copy the node and find it in nim source. Because if that would be the case and we could just actually use the delay nodes, that would be really big. But something tells me I'm just hoping for too much. Okay, so go to TraceInteractor, right? And we have the delay node here. So what happens if I'm going to copy it and paste it here, right? Member parent, member name is delay. There is no way this is going to be exposed. So let's just go and source, open with code. And let's search for delay. Star. Yeah, bunch of various delays. What's this? Engine. Delay. Oh, wait a moment. This might actually work. World context object, duration, and latent info, whatever that is. What is latent info? By the way, keep this open, please. Let's search for latent info. Linkage, UID, execution function. And it's used in a lot of spots. Just provided to move component to this and that. Is there some like make latent info? Because if that would be the case, that would be great. Type of latent info? Yeah, of course. Something that returns latent info. Nope. How do you do it? So let's copy it and ask our what do you call it? What? Oh no, that's definition. Okay, definition just does that. Got confused for a second. Can ask our AI, maybe we'll have an idea about it. Delete this guy. Create new for the project. Name for on engine expert. I have this. I found this proc and the nim for on the engine bindings. Okay. How can I use it? I can't find a way to create a latent action info. Maybe your knowledge of C++ side of things could help here. Let's see if we're gonna get anything that actually would be usable. In C++, flatent action info is typically used to set up latent actions in our engine, often in conjunction with blueprint nodes like delay. In NimForUE engine, you can create an latent action info struct similarly to how you would in C++. So, delay test. We set the world context, duration, callback target self, function name after delay. Ah, so we just pointed there. That's true, because Unreal Engine uses reflections, so it can find functions by name. Huh. Any ID, just get unique ID. No way that's gonna work. No way. I want to try it. Gosh, this is so massive here. I really want to try it. So, bum 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 bum. So the delay is supposed to go here. So let's just paste in the thing that Claude gave us. So world context, no big deal. Duration, no big deal. Callback target, good. Function name, and let's do sure after the delay. That works for now. And we just construct the latent info. Okay. There's no even need to do all that. Let's just didn't it need the world context object? Oh no, that would be for the delay itself. So we can just plop it here for now. And this way we don't have to hold it here. Duration, we're just gonna put here. And latent info, be self after delay, and get unique ID. And this way we have a little bit less lines. Cool. So that means this whole thing should go somewhere else. And yeah, we actually don't care about anything else here. So we can just grab it. I can just straight up do this proc after delay, and we're not doing any of that. Cool. How did they define it there? Because I don't think you can just put it in there that way. Yeah, it's just a separate proc. Okay. And let's just do UE warn after delay, just in case, so we know that we're actually calling it. If that's gonna work, I'll be amazed. And I don't want it to be blueprint callable. This will be just ufunc. Cool. Let's try to compile it and see what happens. Function name for type flatent action info. Really? Latent info, we had it here. Execution function, right? It's changed things on me. Callback target, yep, UID, and linkage. What is linkage? So I guess we didn't give that info to the thing. By the way, this is f latent action info in NimForUE. Please adjust your code. Because I have no idea where to get linkage. Okay. So it's world. This is good. This is good. Linkage 0. This is typically 0 unless you're doing something special. Okay, good to know. It's good. This is good. And callback target to use object pointer. Cast yourself. Cool. Yeah. Okay. So that is not a lot to change. And we have different order, right? Linkage UID execution function. Linkage UUID. Oh, I already had linkage here. It was just capitalized, so I didn't see it. Target is the last one. Okay, let's see if that changes anything. Oh, not cast. Cast. We had something here else, right? UE cast. There we go. Dum. Type mismatch. Get unique ID. It expects object player state pointer. So let's provide it with this. Getting a compilation error. Okay. The TraceInteractor is a useScene component. Okay. And it's self in this case. Error occurs because it's not a method available on components like we can combination of the owner's ID available. Okay. So if owner is not now, so it's not, so we're good. Owner get unique ID to N32. Okay. That makes sense. Kind of. So let's do let owner is this, and we're just gonna plop it here. So let's just do this. There we go. Little bit by little bit, we might get there. Still don't expect it to actually work. Get owner self. It's an A actor pointer. Really? Oh wait. Get unique ID on top of that. Huh. So let me search for the get unique ID here. Get unique ID. Place the pointer. There's the pointer. It's all that. Yep, they're all the same. The get owner returns a actor pointer. This is the definition of what did I copy? Get unique ID. I don't think it's gonna come up with anything at this point. Different approach. What kind of different approach? Owner. It's still showing that. We're using the following logic. If the owner exists, it's a method available in a actor. No, it's not. Get unique ID is not available on an actor. So it's very interesting. How the hell would I get UUID? Or does it have to be specific UUID? Or can I just generate one and use it as a reference or something? Does Nim has a way to generate a UUID? By the way, what's the type of that thing? I give it at some point. UID is int32. So I set it not an actor, and it's gonna go the same thing. Whoa, use the memory address of the owner. Seriously. Sort of global latent action center. What the heck is it trying to do? Weird shenanigans. No, thank you. We're gonna try to generate normal ID. So about the bright light, standard library, and search for UUID. Oh, GUID. That's Windows stuff. How do you generate UID? dbcommon, db, just nope. Nope. Let's go to Nimble. Where was it? Oh, come on. Where's the... There's no link to the website? Nimble user guide? There's the nimble.directory. That's the address. It's so difficult to find it. UUID. UUID wrapper. Okay. Wait, which one is popular? Does it show like numbers or something? Probably not. My ID, generate random, and whatnot. And 2 hex and whatnot. What's this one? Maybe this one has a little bit more documentation. It could be N64. Is there maybe something in Unreal Engine generated? Maybe that's it. Maybe we can just search for UID here. Nope. Can we hard code a new ID? Also, when we search for delay, there were two, right? There was the delay, and then there's retriggerable delay, which also has latent info. Let's just do this. Where's the browser? Just gonna do UUID generator online. And that was this one, I believe. Yes, we can copy this one. And how could N32 hold an UUID? Come on, Claude. Start new chat. Is it possible for N32 to hold a whole UUID? It's no way. No, it's not possible, exactly. While how large is 128 bits long, so we would need 4 of those. I don't understand that part. Huh. Is that supposed to be a pointer to an UID? Don't know. Let's just put in 0 and see what happens. There you go. 0. Deal with it. Build. I have no idea what I'm doing. We cannot instantiate cast the object pointer. Callback target. Again, what is supposed to callback target be? Object pointer. Can I just leave self? Because in theory it should be object pointer. Oh, it seems to be happy now. Okay. That built somehow. Compile. Run. It showed up after delay, after delay, after delay. Okay. It's like every second or something. It says after delay, and look at that. It rotates a little bit. Because every time we hit it, it should rotate. No way this actually worked. I can't believe that we actually successfully called a delay node from C++. That's not something I expected to actually work. TraceInteractor. What's the delay? Interval 0.2 seconds. So something clearly... Oh, because I'm not putting it in. There we go. So we can just... we have it for 2 seconds here while we're supposed to do self dot trace delay. Where is it? Not handle. We're not dealing with timers, so go away. Trace interval, and we paste it here. Okay, let's rebuild it, and that should actually make it work. And I am very excited because I didn't expect. It's just I don't know if these are saved this way, because I have no clue what it means. Okie dokie. Recompile. Start. There we go. We get 5 of them per second. Awesome. Okay. I am truly astounded that it actually worked. Go figure. Alrighty, so I'll be closing it down. I feel like I did enough today. Let's just add a comment. A sketchy usage of the blueprints. Delay node. I guess. So linkage, is it supposed to be 0? What does it do and where to get it from? Because here's always 0. But I wonder if we could have, like, I wonder if these are like unique values for each delay. And by UUID, they just mean unique ID rather than the universally unique ID or whatever. Unless they mean the universe to be the Unreal Engine world or something. And this is just a counter or something. And probably if what I would expect it to do is that if you try to start another, work with another latent action info that has the same UUID, this basically won't be executed because, hey, we're already waiting for it. While if that will be different every time, we will be going through it fast. So I'm actually gonna test it because now I'm curious. I want to try it. So let's just add a silly little counter here, little property. Sure, that works. Let's do delay counter. That'll be n32 and it starts at 0, okay? And every time we basically execute this thing, wherever it will be here, we'll use it self dot delay counter. Okay, with delay, and after that we do the self delay counter increased by 1. Let's just build that, start a project like this, and I wonder if that will cause the after delay to start showing up every tick, which will be a lot of them. And yeah, can I concatenate it with this? Or did I get some error there? Tab mismatch. Oh, what? What is going on? I can't add 1 to an integer? Do I need to actually do this? That would be ridiculous. Nope. Oh, that's fixed. Now it's just that. Okay. To string, please. So we can't do plus equals. That's very strange. Okay, let's start a project and deal with setting up TraceInteractor. One more, hopefully last time. Init and do tick. Okay, that part is done. Just need the interaction signal transceiver. Should be good. So now let's see. Look at that, every tick. So even though we have all those delays, I can probably just set it so that the delay is a bit longer. So I can make the delay trace interval to be 5 seconds. And that means that all those will just show up after 5 seconds. Nothing, 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 nothing. Nothing, 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 nothing. And bam, they all started. There we go. So that's what it is. It just... Okay. Mystery solved. Mystery solved. This is literally just an identifier. So what should happen is that when this specific object starts up, gets created, the TraceInteractor, I could make it that during begin play, it just gets some kind of unique ID from some kind of pool. So that could be actually really simple, because all we need is... I don't know that's gonna work. All we would need is probably something like type, or not even type, let's just global little variable, which would be in this case unique ID. So we do var unique ID is 0, and we'll just make it in 32 for compatibility, and we'll be proc get unique ID, which increases it and returns it. Sure, good enough. So what I could do here is basically TraceInteractor, instead of having the delay counter, delay UUID. Okay, we just have it saved here, and during our init, where is it? Init, we can basically specify that self.delay UUID is get unique ID. This way we're gonna set it only once, and we can just reuse it for all the times we actually need the delay. And this way, if we have multiple TraceInteractors, they will have their own delays, so that they won't be interacting with each other. Okay, that premise of that actually makes me very happy. So this goes here, trace. Not inside trace, we don't care. Oh no, it was beginning of trace, right? No, the outside of it. And it do tick, that's where it is. And we just use this here. All right. And we don't do any of that. Oh yeah, we could do stuff right after delay, as you know, things are happening before it happens. Okay, that's good. Cool. After delay, we just call it here, and that's all there is, and that shouldn't be an issue. So let's build it. Okay, that recompiled. Heard a tweet from Unreal Engine that everything works. Start. Got the normal after delay. And, you know, things just work. So yeah, this is very exciting. Huh. I truly didn't know this is gonna happen. But it actually is gonna work and we're gonna figure it out. Although I wonder what the linkage is, but it says, you know, the AI said that it should be 0 unless you're doing some weird stuff. So let's comment the code. And what do we have here? This will never change in a way, it's just broken forever. But here interactions. So let's just take care of the other stuff first. Because this is the delay. And we could just do this to on the selection thing. And sure. This was just a simple cleanup. Alrighty. Went through it all. We just delete that part. Okay, so this is basically fix last bug. Last cleanup. Okay. This will be add the delay and unique ID generator. There we go. Push it. Cool. All right. That'll be it for today. So I want to thank you for watching. If you like the content, consider subscribing, liking the video, subscribing on YouTube, or following on Twitch. And yep, thank you, Taras, for hanging out with me. And see you on Wednesday then. Again, thank you for watching.